Shouldn't skipping to payday be as easy as skipping to the next song? Introducing MyPay from Chime. Get up to $500 of your pay before payday. Get paid when you save with MyPay. Start at Chime.com. Eligibility requirements apply. Credit limits range from $20 to $500. Provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. and Stride Bank N.A.
Summer's here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
Electricast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Claudia Monticelli, and welcome to my podcast. We will dive into the heart of a mystery with Let's Talk Soul, a podcast that fearlessly explores the essence of the soul. Without claiming to know it all, we offer enlightening insights and entertaining stories to deepen your understanding. Let's Talk Soul is a gateway to unraveling the soul's mystery in an engaging and thought-provoking way. So get ready for riveting conversations that challenge, that entertain, and enlighten. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the captivating journey with Let's Talk Soul. Welcome aboard. Now, I have today with me a guest called Jane Kim Yu. Jane, say hello to our audience.
Hello there. It's so nice to be here.
She's talking to us from the New York area. And who is she? What does she do? Now, Jane is a person whose work has uplifted the souls of others. Her main work revolves around three different passions: writing, creativity, art, and expression, and spirituality. There's nothing that captivates her more than these three passions. True expression creates a healing for self and others in a way that is so tangible, is so intangible, that goes beyond words to touch the very heart of the soul. It can be like music or even something as simple as kindness. That is the aspiration and inspiration of her work. This is the gift that we all have to offer the world, our love. Now, this is interesting, Jane, that you put it in these words, because I found myself a few weeks ago talking to a guest, and I said to him, I came out with this question: would you say that spirituality can be a synonym of love?
Entirely, yes.
Okay, let's expound a little bit on that.
Yes. Thank you so much for the delightful question. When I was in the searching phase of my life and I did not grow up with spirituality, it was not introduced to me by family or friends. It was something I stumbled upon, like so many of us do when we're looking.
Wait. How long ago was this?
At least 20 years ago,
Okay.
at least. But after a moment in college when I experienced the quieting and I just needed to know what happened.
So I'll jump in with another question. Usually it happens when something occurs to you in your life that's heart-rending, emotional, extremely difficult, and then the light seems to go on. Is it like that? Was it like that for you?
Yes, entirely. Yes and no. When it happened, when that magical moment happened, I did not wish for it. I did not think about it. I was just walking along college campus doing my life. And then all of a sudden it happened without wanting. But
what is it? happened, you said?
Ah, that moment of grace that we experience when we completely surrender to the present moment, which is the essence of our humanity and our heart. uh, Everything quiets down to such an impeccable degree that you are left in pure silence, pure feeling, pure being. There are no questions at that place. And when you are at the
Mhm.
bottom of the heart, of the root of life itself, which is, in other words, the heart of yourself.
Yeah.
True connection with self means true connection to all that is humanity, divinity, whatever our faith may be. When
Right.
we are at the heart of our heart,
Right.
that is it.
Now, it's interesting the way you explain it. Um, and almost because the way you describe it is almost as if it happened to you. Something out there occurred to you, and then you were quiet. Is it, was it like that? You had nothing to do in this process?
um yes and no.
Okay.
As I reflect, I know, what a delightful answer.
No, no. We have to understand the why of the no as well. Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you. So at that time, it's not something I consciously thought about or willed for,
Right,
or
right.
even like had any semblance of a notion.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, it just randomly happened. That's I can say.
Mm-hmm.
And it took many years to figure this one out. But as I reflected doing my healing work after 10, 15 years plus,
Mm-hmm.
I was sick for the most like half of my life, where I was pretty much in bed and
Oh,
my
I'm
face
sorry to
was
hear that.
disfigured.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you. And it was an extremely painful time where I just couldn't even look at myself. It took every sense of self and being away
Mm-hmm.
from me. And, when you're only 6 years old or whatever, when you're just a kid, I
Yeah.
forget how old, but,
Yeah.
and you think about what it means to die for the first time.
Yes.
I mean, most people don't even have that thought,
Right. Right.
but I did.
And let's
And
say, so this is very young. You're very young when this occurs, and you were going through pain, some sort of pain.
mhm.
And did this pain, was this pain caused from something specific?
No, it happened randomly. Also,
Uh-huh. Oh,
I,
incredible.
I know,
No, no,
and
it's interesting because you said um it happened, and I wasn't looking for it. It just happened. But there's something inside you, Jane, that um obviously made you understand what was happening, and the magnitude of what was happening probably was not known to you then. So let's make believe that we took a hop, skip, and a jump forward. Now we're forward, and you said your face was disfigured and all of that. When did that start to disappear?
very little by little,
Uh huh.
after over 10 plus years, it
Uh huh.
lightened very a small degree every year,
Uh huh.
but at least 10 plus years.
Okay. Okay.
Lightened.
And during those 10 years, because here I know you're an author, you write, um, had you started to write during that period?
Oh, um, a little bit. I did enjoy a little bit, but more so it was about schooling and studying and
Okay.
passing the SATs and
Yes.
getting into high school.
So you're talking about maybe you were journaling or took notes about what was happening, a diary form of notes that you may have had?
I wish I did, but I did not do
Oh,
diaries or anything until late high
later
school.
on. Uh-huh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, now I don't want to pull teeth here. I'm trying to get you to the point where all of a sudden the cloud has lifted. There's a cloud that is lifted and you are sort of transformed. The what has really pained you for so many years started to leave you, started to disappear, right?
Yes, but on another note, when
Yes.
you're so young, our level of awareness and
Sure,
consciousness
sure.
is so low that
Yes.
despite the intense pain and the first desire to live, that was my first prayer to God or
Okay,
to whoever.
okay.
I
Mm-hmm.
want to live, God, please.
Okay,
And I
okay.
believe that's where the desire was born. But beyond that,
Mm-hmm.
it's become normal now, this level of incredible enduring pain that you
Uh-huh.
don't think about it anymore. You just accept.
Well, a lot
And
of
because
people don't know anything better often.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So, but there's still an awakening. Oh, and by the way, the uh, Jane has written a book, Journey of Awakening and Higher Consciousness. And I think you would agree with me, Jane, that our awakening process is an ongoing, it's always ongoing. It is, we further awake, we further learn, we further understand what is happening, and we progress, and our vibration increases. When did you start writing the book?
Um, that moment happened in college and I wanted to write it then, but
Uh huh.
it never came out. I even sat down at a desk for a whole summer,
Uh
9 to 5 hours, and
huh.
it
Oh
never
my.
came out.
Oh dear.
It only came out a year or two ago and it just streamed out of me in 2 weeks. And
Uh huh. That's awfully fast.
yes.
And why do you think it came out now?
We all have our soul lessons, our life lessons, our
Sure.
healing journey,
Sure.
like you say.
Yeah.
Transformation never ends. And sometimes it's tinged with sadness, but what an honor it is also, because as we embrace ourselves and all that that means,
Yes.
there is an opening and a healing. And I suppose I just had to go on my journey. And the beautiful part is a true soul calling, or in other words, a true heart call,
Yeah.
can never be denied because it'll never leave you.
Yeah. Well, good, good. Now, let's say before we started recording, you told me that your story has helped many people along the way. You give talks, and it's interesting to for me to see someone who has just, I'll use this expression, come into their own. You just started, you have just been awakened, and just like you wake up, you start making phone calls. You start talking to people, you start writing them notes, emails. So this is very, very recent, and behind this, let's say this book, there is a long and an important story behind it. What is the most important, um, let's say, driving factor that pushed you to get the hands on the keyboard and start writing? What was it that made you want to write this book?
Thank you for the wonderful question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Aside from the lifelong desire and dream to just pop out a book, but
Yeah.
more so than that, that experience of quieting
Mm-hmm.
was so beautiful and so intense and so peaceful and passionate all at once that
Mm-hmm.
for those on the journey, that's what they want. But what no one ever thinks about is, if that leaves you and your mind, the monkey mind of, well, yourself comes back, then you're left to deal and face with yourself. And where the majority of us, perhaps I might not have seen many things and ignored it, once you've seen the beauty of all humanity and yourself and whatever our faith may be, you can never unsee that again.
Yeah.
And everything
yeah.
becomes mirrored to that.
Yes. As you speak, I have to bring you a little closer to telling us, because as you have experienced this, not everyone has. And it's important for you to be as specific as you can. What was the like? What did the quiet seem like to you? How long did it last? How was it different from before? Try to find the words to express exactly what that moment. I know it's not only one moment, it probably has reoccurred, but what it was like for you.
Introducing My Pay from Chime, a revolutionary new way to get paid. Let's say new dates to your favorite band's sold-out tour drop Tuesday, but you get paid Friday. Life doesn't wait for payday. With My Pay from Chime, you can get up to $500 of your pay before payday. No interest, no credit check, no mandatory fees. My Pay. Get paid when you say. Start at Chime.com. Eligibility requirements apply. Credit limits range from $20 to $500. $2 fee to get funds instantly. Provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. and Stride Bank N.A.
What's up, guys? It's the champ, Sean O'Malley, here to talk to you about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win real money while watching football. Run your game on Prize Picks.
Prize Picks will give you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Just download the Prize Picks app and use code SPOTIFY. That's code SPOTIFY on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play a $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
It was the most beautiful and exquisite time of my life. I would just open the door outside to walk outside, simply walk outside, and as I would see the skies and the trees, it would take my breath away, that I would gasp for air because everything was that beautiful. Everything was feeling based. You would feel the energy, and everyone had a glow. All life had a glow. It was just, when you're sick for half your life, you have no sense of self, and you either do or do not know it, but realistically, you don't.
Yeah.
You have all your insides going on, but then all of a sudden, everything fades, all the crevices inside of brokenness and hurt and pain, it all dissolves, leaving you with such an emptiness inside. And then the flood of light and warmth and energy, it was like liquid light lava going in and through until you're in it, and then you disappear, and then all you want to do in that moment, that singular moment, the energy is so flooding all your senses, beyond your senses, that you just need to feel it all. So you stand and stay still, very much so, because when you are in the depth of love, it's so intoxicating that you just want to stay there forever, And on a second note, I could describe it further, but on a second note, yes, I understand this is a very rare thing, but at the same time, this is what we all universally go through and experience whenever the heart speaks to us in an honest, vulnerable way. That tiny voice, it is very similar. And as we honor that voice, that opening is created. So I think we all experience it to some semblance of a degree, and that is the journey of awakening. It's not some airy-fairy idea outside. Even the label of the word spirituality or soul or whatever, sometimes, the people who are not in this work label it as a derogatory statement or something outside of themselves, when it is entirely within, innate to who we are. Because when we are pure feeling, pure being, which in other words, pure heart, or pure alignment to self, which is essentially the same thing, all of it, which
It's your
means you're fully
soul.
present.
We're talking
Yeah,
about a soul here.
then that's it. Then you can be the rock star you want to be and you already are, or you're more at peace with being a rock star, or whatever it is we want to do. That is it.
Okay. So I asked you what it is, and now you gave us what it is. Good. Now, after this, after having experienced all of this, typically what I find, an experience like that has opened and, well, really wide open a huge window of your life and your world to other experiences. What is that the case for you?
Yes, that question can be taken so many ways, but when the heart truly opens, you are now open to so many more things. But then the next step is, our life circumstance, um, and so forth. I was just a kid in school, so I had to graduate, get a degree, pay off school loans, on top of now wanting to understand this very badly. And it was a very painful time because you can't even find this information in a book or the library,
Yeah, yeah.
or Google. So all I could do was just sit with myself in my heart and do the best I humanly can. And that is how this book came about, not just because I needed to get it out of me and myself, but for everyone else who goes through something similar to this. And we all do when we do. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
I wrote down everything I wished I could have heard from someone,
Yeah,
and it
sure.
would have made a world of peace.
So now we're in the book. Again, the title is Germany. My son is in Germany, and she should be coming. I guess that's on my mind. Journey of Awakening and Higher Consciousness. Um, Tell us a little bit about the book. How long is it? How is it organized? What are the chapters? What do they look like? Part one, two, three. How does it look?
Yes, it's a mixture of that's an excellent question.
Well, we start from the table of contents.
Yes,
I
yes.
see something behind you for our audience and listeners who don't have the benefit of video. Behind her, I can see a book, and I barely see the title. I think that is your book. Take it and open to the table of contents and tell me what you see.
Yes, I break it down, and the beginning I talk about correlate what enlightenment truly really is. We all think of enlightenment as something outside of ourselves,
Yeah.
but the highest version of ourselves only comes from true alignment, which is true heart, which is true presence. So it's all the same. All these big words that people separate into different categories, it's literally all the same. So there are 7 chapters. Yes, and in the beginning, I talk about the journey of humanity, of what love really means, what enlightenment is, um, the story of humanity, and I briefly discuss my short story, only to give a sense of reference and frame. And then I go into what the journey really entails to begin the awakening process after I was left with that experience and then it all went away. When bliss and heaven goes away, you're left so incredibly there are no words to that time when the
I
deepest
can
love
imagine.
leaves you. Yes. And from that place, I had to begin again and figure out how to get back. And the funny thing is, you're already there. It's just a learning to soothe your mind, which is what it really is all about. Um, and there's only three things. We overcomplicate so many things, but it's really just about accepting what is, making peace with what is, and loving what is, and yourself. And we take ourselves on this journey, meeting one seminar after another, one book after another, and then sometimes we hear it and see it in a different way, and then something resonates and clicks and opens inside, and then you travel the world only to come back home and realize you were there all along, which then begins another empowering journey of love unleashed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I know I've written several books, so I know what it's like to get to the end and always want to go back and fix some chapters. But my publisher said to me, "Look, Claudia, you have to put in Italian." They said once, "La parola fine." You have like in the movie when it's at the end, the end. You're going to have to write that and close the book. Did that happen to you? Because since it's an experience that's ongoing, did that occur to you? Was it difficult for you to end the book?
That is an excellent question. Because it took 15 years before it finally came out. Meanwhile, this is the one thing I wanted.
Right.
Then after when it finally, funny thing is, it a few months after the Ukrainian war, I honestly got a pull in my gut, like my stomach, like I have to give now.
Yeah.
I really have to give. I've like put this on the side, or I don't even know I had to live my life where I've learned it, but now I just have to give. And so it streamed out. And yes, because this is all feeling work. This cannot be intellectualized. Being and love, you cannot put love in a box.
Right. That's true.
I mean,
thank God.
Any kind. I know, right? But anyways,
well, this brings me to another question, because you can't put it in a box. It's something that evolves all the time. So were you aware when you were, I'll put it in a different way, the question, were you aware when you were drawing towards the end of your writing process that the book was only the first in a series of others, even if you could not imagine what other book could come after that?
Of course, it is every writer's dream to pop out many books, but
I like pop out. That's funny.
Yeah.
How many wars are we going to have before you keep writing? I like that. Pop out a book.
But you know what? It's, for me, it is artistic expression of our humanity, of just, frankly, our humanity. So when you're in your art, you're not really thinking about anything outside. You're just really in it, kind of like a singer. So I'm honestly taking things a day at a time, moment by moment.
Okay, let me do it this way. I'm going to take you on a journey in time. We're going to go way back in time in your life. Where are your origins? Your parents, grandparents, where do they come from physically? I know that you're living in the New York area and the Flushing area. We mentioned I lived there for quite a number of years myself. Where were you originally from?
Yes, I was born in Canada, but my parents are from South Korea, so I'm Korean.
Okay. Now, that means that you were born in Canada and they had been in Canada for a few years at least before you were born, correct?
Yes.
Do you have any siblings?
I do have one younger sister, yes.
Okay. So let's say that your past, did you meet your grandparents?
When I was very young, so my grandmother raised me for a very short time, and it is yes.
Thank goodness you had that experience. That happened to me as well. I immigrated to the United States. My parents immigrated. I was 5 months old. I mean, I literally came off a boat. And the interesting part of my experience, which could be similar, because I grew up with one of my grandmothers, was that they spoke Italian and the children didn't. My older sister did. She had spoken. She was about 4 when we came over, so she spoke very well. And so there was this one way, one language, another way, another language, and our we understood everything. We just, there were 3 sisters. We were always talking English. How could we get Italian out of our mouths? So they understood us and we understood them. Did this occur in your family, or did you have a dual nationality background? Were you ensconced in a South Korean culture as much as you were in a Canadian or United States culture?
Yes. Thank you for sharing about the Italian thing. It's funny. But yes, very similarly. Because I was born in Canada, I actually knew French when I was very
All
young.
right, good.
I obviously forgot it all now, but
what a shame! What a shame! Of course, us purists would say, "Oh, it's only Canadian. It's okay. You forget it. It's not really French." Please forgive me, my Canadian friends. I love Canada. So there you had quite a few different cultures come into your life early on. Well, what made you move to the United States, and at what age?
Your teen requested a ride, but this time not from you. It's through their Uber teen account. You drive your teenager around, a lot, to their friend Jacob's house, their other friend Jake's house, to James's, to Jaden's, to Jalen's, to...
Mom? This is Jake's house, not Jacob's.
Now with an Uber teen account, your teen can request a ride under your supervision. They'll ride with a highly rated driver, and with live trip tracking, you'll follow along the whole ride to their friends' houses that all sound the same. Add your teen to your Uber account today. See app for details.
Bye, Mom.
How do stop losses work on Kraken? Let's say I have a birthday party on Wednesday night, but an important meeting Thursday morning. So Sensible Me pre-books a taxi for 10 p.m. with alerts. Voila! I won't be getting carried away and staying out till 2. That's stop loss orders on Kraken, an easy way to plan ahead. Go to kraken.com and see what crypto can be. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss. Cryptocurrency services are provided to U.S. and U.S. territory customers by Payward Interactive Inc., PWI, DBA Kraken. View PWI's disclosures at kraken.com/legal/disclosures.
Very young, around like first grade or maybe kindergarten, because my family, they had an opportunity here, and this is why we moved. And I can honestly say, though, as a child, when you see a kid, you can see their level of awareness, and it's just so precious every time. The unique essence of a person. I was very I don't know if unaware is the right word, but I was a true child.
Well, thank goodness, because children, that's what children, we should be more like children. Okay, so now the child in you, Jane, is getting to where you are today. If you were to go back and you'd been given a gift that you could do something different from, well, let me ask you this question. What is your early memory as a child, if you go back?
Yeah, 3 memories. My father taking me to the park on a warm day with a bicycle or tricycle that I had or we rented. It was beautiful. And then my mother speaking to me and I think singing like a Korean lullaby about rabbits. And then
rabbits, interesting.
My grandmother holding me so tight, hugging me so tight. When you're a kid, you just
throw
don't think so
yourself
hard.
into
But
the
remember,
arms of everyone. Yeah. Yeah. Big hugs.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I sunk into her love.
Mm-hmm,
It's
mm-hmm.
so.
Yeah.
She is the purest love I've
So,
ever known.
those, let's say those memories are about 5 years old, maybe 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, about that. From those early memories until now, if you were granted the wish that you could change anything along the way, I don't know, maybe to make your life easier, to make your things, your experiences lighter. Is there something you would change today?
As much as I have thought about this too, and
Mm-hmm.
as much as I'd love to say yes, and when you're having hard days,
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
But doing our inner work
Mm-hmm.
and truly making peace with ourselves, and then learning to love ourselves, which is a
Mm-hmm.
continual, ongoing
Yeah.
process. Should we honor it and choose it for
Mm-hmm.
ourselves, then comes the ability of the strength of your character and your heart to truly accept and see the divine gifts in all moments and areas of your life, even when you did or did not shine, or when others
Mm-hmm.
have or have not done what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Then comes the beauty and the grace, and perhaps even tears. And with that place of such empowerment and grace, and the understanding and the wisdom and all the good things in life, then you understand all is as it should, and there is just even greater peace, kind of like a river and an ocean of love. And you just sink into that, and you bathe.
Yeah.
And
Ladies and gentlemen, I think that Jane just skirted my question, but I understand. I think the summary of your answer goes something like this. Tell me if I've understood. That the bad days, and there were bad days, only flowed into what came of it as good. They are very much a part of your who you are today as the good days. How did I do?
yes, that is
Okay. So you wouldn't change anything. You wouldn't go back and change anything.
no, and that's
Okay.
really saying a lot.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
sure.
saying a
Sure.
lot.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy, we went all over the world in this brief time, Jane. So thankful for you to open up to us and allow us to take a peek into your world and all of those facets of your life that have brought you here today. I do hope to have you back on in the future when there's another war and another book pops out. No, I don't want to. I'm joking, but you will see that unimaginable. Well, no, I can't get the word. Unimaginable things will happen to you now that the awakening has occurred. Things will pop out unbeknownst to you. They just come out. You will see. Mark my words, and you write to me when they do start popping out. I'd be very curious. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your story with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm just so humbled and happy and excited to be here.
Good,
Thank you
good.
so much.
Bye, Jane.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow Let's Talk Soul Podcast on Instagram. Let's Talk Soul Podcast is a production of Electricast Media. Our executive producers are Mark Netter and Peter Rafelson. If you like our show and like what you hear, please subscribe and give us a rating wherever you enjoy podcasts. And remember, stay curious, stay inspired, and never stop exploring the depths of your soul.
Hi, I'm Mark.
And I'm Peter.
We're the founders of Electrocast Media, bringing you great podcasts like Nightmare Road Stories, Tech Talk Revolution, and Bodacious Minds.
Electrocast networks include Ruby for female empowerment, the Best Business Network, and GPN for geopolitics. We built this company to create community and amplify diverse voices, and we really appreciate your support.
So, keep listening to Electrocast podcasts and hear the culture.
Electrocast.